Setsubun, mainly celebrated in Japan. People throw beans outside as they shout, "Oni wa soto! Fuku wa uchi!" This is said to ward off demons, such as sickness and disaster, and invite a year of good health and peace. This doesn't explain that oftentimes fathers would don the mask whilst their child throws beans at them, shouting the same sentence on the same accord. Also done at a lot of schools with young children in them, but anyway. Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi basically means demons out, good fortune in. There is also another part of Setsubun involving eating a long roll of sushi known as ehomaki, filled with 7 fillings representing Shichifukujin, the 7 deities of good fortune. When eating this, you are to face a certain direction, like south-southeast in 2021. It changes every year. Last year was west-southwest. Why am I telling you this? Well, as you may know, Animal Crossing New Leaf was released at quite different release dates for each region. November 2012 for Japan, June 2013 for North America, EU and Australia, New Zealand, and so on. If I didn't mention your country, no hard feelings. The events were also fully baked into the game and had some region-specific events. As for New Horizons, it received a global release. 1 cartridge or 1 download fits all style. If you bought the game in Japan and set your Switch system, language and region to Habulibulibu, then the game will speak in that language and certain event patches will be timed to that region. But apart from the North and Southern hemispheres once having different orderable items in the Nook Shopping Seasonal tab, every event has been globalized and the same experience for every region. With the announcement of the January update, it was revealed that the Setsubun beans will be available in the Seasonal tab in Nook's Shopping. This immediately told me not to expect anything other than an orderable item. This was my favorite item in New Leaf, so I was excited nevertheless. I stressed the short time to order because of this, only to order it to realize it's not as fun as it was in New Leaf. In New Horizons, the beans don't bounce around. They just fly in front of you and vanish, like it could just be a PNG animation with no attempt whatsoever in physics or interaction with the environment. It can splash in water or make one plant do a bounce animation though. However, in New Leaf, the beans actually bounce around, can hit multiple targets, and players' and animals' eyes open up when they're hit by the beans. You can also head over to halves where they act differently, where they get thrown closer to your feet and birds come flying down to eat them. Impossible in New Horizons, as you can't even use items outside Halves Photo Studio. In the Japanese version of New Leaf, typically in the days coming up to February 3rd, you can buy the Setsubun Bean Kit or the sushi roll in Nook's store. And on February 3rd, there is an actual celebrated event. Let's take a look. So, in 2021, for the first time in 124 years, Setsubun fell on February 2nd. The day is February 2nd. In New Leaf, the notice board lets you know that Setsubun is coming up on the usual February 3rd, and I bought a Setsubun Bean Kit. In New Horizons, the beans can be ordered from the Seasonal Items tab in Nook's Shopping. Able Sisters has ogre clothes and masks. The ogre clothes are a one-up on New Leaf. But Nookling's Cranny focuses on festival items, and the notice board has nothing. Roll over to February 3rd. In New Leaf, Isabelle announced on Startup that today is Setsubun. She's going to be hanging out in the plaza by the tree you planted on the first day you play. In New Horizons, Isabelle says there is nothing to announce and talks about her day. Back to New Leaf. Here she is, wearing some kind of ogre-themed clothing. She kind of looks like Fred Flintstone, and there's an ogre cardboard cutout you can pose in to take photos. Speaking to Isabel results in her asking you if you want a red or blue mask to participate in Setsubun. I chose red. Now, the name of the Mask and Beans game is that one person wears the mask and another person throws beans at them to ward off the bad spirits. The beans to the ogre are like garlic to vampires. Wearing the mask and talking to the animals prompts them to react, pull out beans, say some sort of chant, and throw beans at you. Different animals do say different things. If you happen to be holding beans and wearing a mask, the animals get all confused. In New Horizons, February 2nd or February 3rd, wearing a mask and talking to the animals makes no difference whatsoever to their conversations. It doesn't matter if the game is set to English or Japanese either. The whole Setsubun thing's just completely ignored. Please welcome Jennifer from Pink Sea Village. Thank you, Jennifer, for helping me out in this video. What is more interesting in New Leaf is that if you have an English version of the game that doesn't celebrate Setsubun, you can still visit a Japanese player's village on the day and enjoy the event. Talk to Isabel, get a mask, and talk to the animals and get beans thrown at you, or confused animals, respectively. The animals always speak in the language that your game is in, so all the dialogues have been translated. In Jennifer's case, English. Out of curiosity, when you stand by another player talking to the animals, you can only see the animals' reactions. You won't see any beans be thrown, but the player that is doing the talking will. And yeah, if you have another player visiting, throwing beans near Harv will not call any birds. This, I think, is just the typical limitations of multiplayer in New Leaf. Back in New Horizons? Well, yeah, with a visitor, there is no reaction animation if you try to hit each other with the beans. We even tested indoors just in case the physics could be different, like how lights work different indoors. But Yeah, nah. So yeah, local events that existed in past games have fallen victim to globalization, and so has the quality of the items that exist for them, which is a real shame. My hope for the second year of New Horizons, amongst some quality of life improvements, is that we start to see some of these more local events actually being celebrated in more than just an item to represent it. I understand that it could be difficult to do for everyone, as there could be clashes in event dates and players would just have no idea what is going on, or it could just make the game too hectic. But maybe they can still do it by region like New Leaf. You see, Nintendo do know which region you live in. It's based on your Nintendo account that connects to the internet to enable the events in the first place.